Alright, a quick video about the dangers of checking your investment accounts too often. So earlier today, I had to go to my brokerage account to download a 1099, and I really dreaded doing that. I've been kind of putting it off for a few weeks already because I didn't want to see how much money I had gained and then panic and try to cash things out or trade things that I really shouldn't be doing. I have a machine learning algorithm that can kind of estimate when I should do this, and it hasn't told me to do it yet, but I know that my emotions will get the better of me. And so I've been putting off of downloading the 1099. Doesn't help that we got an extension. And finally I go in there and do that, but I try to get in and out as soon as I can. It just goes to show that even I'm not immune to this kind of fallacy, and there are just certain places that I know I should try to avoid. In 2020, I made a New Year's resolution to normalize my relationship with food. I've been getting better at it. There are more things I can do now without getting tempted to binge eat. But at the beginning, there were certain activities, events, people that I just needed to avoid until I could adapt to that. One of my biggest challenges, fortunately in 2020, we got to do that a whole lot less, is that I would be anticipating food and then I would get interrupted, right? At my workplace, I was an adjunct professor. Even though I had a set hour for office hours, students felt like they could walk in at any time. And I'm terrible at setting boundaries, right? I'll let students walk in and then they feel like they're entitled to it, right? If my office hours are 5 to 6 and I let one student walk in at 4:20, and then another, maybe 2 days later, he decides to walk in at 4:40 this time and I'm eating, it becomes a big barrier for me to say, well, I let you do it last Tuesday, why not now, right? And after I had a bad experience with that, I made it a rule that nobody could come in outside of my office hours, no matter how available I was, right? Even if I had just finished eating, even if I had nothing better to do in the office, I just made it a rule because it was so much easier. It didn't have to feel like I was discriminating against who was coming in and who was not. It didn't feel like I had to make a judgment call. It just goes to show that as much as I know about investments, as much as I know how to program, machine learning for that stuff, astrology, I'm not immune. And so if you think you are, you're probably being a little bit more arrogant than you care to admit.